Hello everyone and welcome to our presentation. I'm Dubang and
Nam.
so we want to go and today we are going to talk about the nuclear bombing at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Hope you guys want to hear us.
Before we start, something I have said. There's another members of us, but he wasn't here. His name is Lun, and he will presenting the first part, but he's not here, so I'm just gonna skip it. This is Lun's part, and we'll talk about the basic fact. But when he come back, he may represent to you. But I'm just gonna say a little, just go through it first. These are the two pictures of the bombs that nuked Japan. The first bomb was little boy. The little boy that the bomb would nuke the Hiroshima, and Fat Man was nuke Nagasaki. This is Hiroshima before and after. And why it happened is still Lun's part. So I'm just skipping.
So the other event that causes is about Pearl Harbor, a person. As we all know that Japan did, American don't want to bomb Japan without a certain reason. And one of the most terrifying reason is the Battle of Pearl Harbor. Also, we all know back at December 7th, 1941, a force of army battleship was being attacked by a force of Japan aircraft, and they have no warning, no nothing. They just have to fight for it, and after a few of fighting, lots of things happen, and United States have to claim one of the worst casualties I ever had. More than half of the battleship was sunk, and more than 2,040 people were dead. And the president of the United States, Truman, he knows that the only way to end this war is to bombing Japan. So he decided to throw two bombs. One is Nagasaki. One Nagasaki's name is Little Boy, and the second one at Hiroshima is named Fat Man. After that, the explosion happened, and with a bang, everything happened, and Japan lost, and the war ends.
And as you can see, this is a picture of the Battle of the Pearl Harbor, and this is what Japan's armies look like. And about the consequence, I will present it. But before talking about the consequence, I will talk about the little cost. It's not actually little. About 90,000 to 146,000 people died in Hiroshima, and around 39,000 to 80,000 people died in Nagasaki. Well, that's just the first day. The following day, people keep dying. Because of why? Because they burn to death, then they get radio sickness, and about the other injuries, some falling material from houses. And that's the cost. Now, I'll talk about the main reason, the consequence. After the event, the long term is the survivor's health will get higher rate of cancer and loss of disease through generation. Well, now we know that nuclear has a really big amount of radiation that will cost you through whole your generation. After your children will get sick or cancer and other. The radiation will cause a lot of problem to ground until now. About 3 years, 3 years after the bombing in Nagasaki and Hiroshima, there was nothing was growing in it. No plant, no trees, no animals, and people can't live in it because they can't grow food. So people abandoned Hiroshima and Nagasaki for 3 years, or maybe more. But now, Hiroshima and Nagasaki has back to normal, nearly back to normal. And I think that's like the consequence of the nuclear bomb Japan is.
Also from nowadays, people can want to solve from it. Also now look at how Nagasaki and Hiroshima changed. After being turned into one of the most beautiful and one of the most big city, big different. It's clear that Japan is being suffer from the catastrophe, but now it's nothing can stop it from keep revolving. And after the war, of course, the relationship between American and Japanese becomes difficult. They want to fix each other's mistake and have to grow back Nagasaki and Hiroshima from the breakers. So that's all about President is. So thank you for listening to us.